everyone, welcome to Monica's Singapore Kitchen. Today I'll be baking Chinese chicken Siu Bao. It will be made with flaky, crispy Chinese puff pastry wrapper and filled with chicken, green peas and crunchy water chestnuts, cooked down with sauces to create a sweet, aromatic and savory filling. Come along with me to see how these Siu Paos are made. First, let's make the filling. Here we have diced chicken breast. You can substitute chicken breast with chicken thighs, which will result in more moist and succulent filling. You can also substitute this with pork for those who eat pork. Here we have got diced water chestnut. So we cut it into small pieces like that. It adds crunch to our filling. Then we have some green peas over here. Green peas. We need about 120 grams of it, 3 cloves of minced garlic, and cornstarch slurry to be added accordingly. Then let's make the sauce. The sauce consists of 3 tablespoons of sugar, then a half teaspoon of salt, 1 teaspoon of pepper, 1 teaspoon of 5-spice powder, 2.5 tablespoons of oyster sauce. Then 1 tablespoon of dark soya sauce. We will then adjust the color during cooking. 2 tablespoons of sesame seed oil. And I'm going to add half a cup of water to mix all these ingredients thoroughly. Okay, we mix it well. Let's cook our filling. We will put in 4 tablespoons of oil. We'll wait for the oil to become hot first. We are going to cook it over medium-high heat. First, we are going to stir-fry our garlic. Our plan is to stir-fry it until it's almost brown, not completely brown, yeah? Something like 90% brown kind of thing. So once it releases the garlicky aroma, then add in our diced chicken. So stir-fry the diced chicken until the chicken turns about 80% white, yeah? Like it's about 80% cooked. Because we are going to further cook it afterwards when we simmer the chicken. Then we also want to add our diced chestnut, water chestnut, and our green peas. So stir fry it for a couple of minutes. Then after this, we will then add in our sauce. So this is our sauce. Pour it all over. So we are going to stir fry this for about 2 minutes until the sauce is, it gets a bit drier. Yep. So then let's gauge the color. If you want it to be a bit darker, this is a good time to add a little bit more dark soya sauce. So here I have added about extra 1 teaspoon of dark soya sauce. This is optional. If you're happy with the color prior to this, then go ahead and continue with the next step. So the next step is actually basically to cook down the sauce so that it thickens and becomes drier. We want our filling to be dry because we do not want to end up with soggy, buns. So it should be a bit dry like that. You can see that all the sauce, almost all of it, has evaporated. So we're going to add 4 teaspoons of cornstarch slurry to bind the filling so that it will be easier to form individual portions. This cornstarch slurry also helps to create a glossy finish and thickens the gravy so that the gravy will stick to the meat. We want it to be nice and moist. Okay, so looks like our filling is done. So we're going to pour this into a platter, into a container, and we want to spread it out and cool it. Yeah, so we need to have cool filling before we combine the filling with the pastry afterwards. So spread this out and let it cool. So while our filling is cooling, let's move on to the next stage. We are going to make our dough, which is the pastry, which consists of water dough and oil dough. So let's start with the water dough first. We need water, oil, sugar, and salt. Then just whisk all these ingredients thoroughly. Add in our flour. I'm using all-purpose flour here. So mix it until it forms a shaggy mess. Something like this. So at this point, we will want to go in with our hand and then try to knead it for about 2 minutes until our dough ball becomes soft and the bowl becomes clean. Yeah, something like this. So this is the time to let our dough ball rest. So remember to cover it with cling wrap to prevent the skin of the dough from drying out. Okay, so rest for 15 minutes at least. Let's move on to the next pastry dough, which is the oil dough. So for this, it's very simple. We only need 2 ingredients, namely the all-purpose flour, and also here I'm using soft salted butter. So since I'm using salted butter, I've put very little salt in our water dough. So the saltiness level is just the right amount, yeah, just the right taste that gives a good balance to our Siu Pau. So press it like this and mix the flour until it looks like a beady, crumbly mixture. Yeah, so it's beady and it's crumbly. So let's go in with our hand, press all these bits and parts together so that they come together to form a smooth ball. Okay, so you can see that it's coming out together nicely and our bowl will be left nice and clean because all the pieces are stuck together into a ball. Yep, something like this. Okay, so then we are going to wrap this oil dough using our cling wrap. And we're going to rest it for about 15 minutes. So 15 minutes later, we are going to wrap the oil dough within the water dough. So to do that, let's try to flour the surface. And also later, we're going to flour the rolling pin as well. So this is the water dough. So we're going to open up and then try to press it. Add a little bit of flour, I think. It will be much easier so that it doesn't stick, yeah, to the surface. So then press it out, open it up until it is twice the length of the oil dough. So this is the oil dough. Okay, place it at the center and then just wrap it up in whatever way that you want. You can wrap it like a pau way, you know, where you pinch the edges together, or I normally just put it like that, yeah, so it's much easier. Then press it down like so, yeah, just press it so that it forms a rough rectangle. Then put a bit of flour on the surface as well as on the rolling pin. Then use this flat rolling pin, and from the center we are going to gently and press it so that the oil dough will spread, upwards and downwards within the water dough. So from center down and from center up. So then don't forget to also do from center to the left and center to the right. So basically we are trying to spread out the oil dough evenly within the water dough. So continue to do this until we form a rectangle of dimension 60 cm by 50 cm. So once we have reached this, we are going to roll it into a log. And then we are going to divide this log evenly into 12 pieces. Just cut it into 12 pieces. Okay, so we are also going to divide our filling into 12 equal pieces. The filling has cooled down. So now we are going to wrap, do our wrapping. So use one set of the dough, press it down, and then we are going to roll it out. Roll it out from the center, roll down, for center, roll up, center, roll to the left, and center, roll to the right. So basically we are trying to get a disc of diameter 5 inches, roughly that. So then we are going to place the filling in the center. Then yes, something like this. Then we are going to gather and pleat the edges with our thumb and index finger. The thumb is always anchored at the first pleat at all times. Then at the end down here, we're going to twist and pinch to seal. Very important to seal it completely to prevent the gravy from oozing out during the baking process. Then gently form it into a nice even bun shape. Place it on a baking tray lined with baking paper. So we're going to do the same for all the other buns. Okay, then we are going to go to the egg wash stage, where I use 1 egg and lightly beat this egg. Then use a soft brush and then gently brush every bun, the top part as well as the sides. So do the same for all the other buns until you reach the last bun. Then bake it in a preheated oven at 190 degrees Celsius for 20 minutes. I put it in a middle rack, there is no fan. So 20 minutes later, our bun is going to be subjected to the second egg wash. So it's not cooked yet, so we are going to then brush our egg mixture onto every bun, so same as the previous stage, where every bun will be subjected to this egg wash. Then now is a time for us to sprinkle generously our toasted sesame seeds. So there you go. It gives a lot of fragrance to our bun. Then put it in a 190 degree oven for 25 minutes, middle rack, no fan. Then 25 minutes later, our chicken baked Siu Pau are ready. Look at how beautiful the color turns out. I really love this shade of golden brown. The buns have a buttery aroma, flaky and crispy. Allow them to cool until they are just warm before enjoying them with a cup of tea and coffee. Every bite is such a delight. Let's cut into one of them. It looks and sounds so flaky and crispy on the outside, with moist and slightly sweet aromatic filling on the inside. They taste so good. Keep any leftovers in an airtight container in the fridge. It can last for 4 days. Hope you will give this recipe a try someday. Thanks for stopping by, and as always, happy cooking!